like we do it, like we do it.
Okay, I don't have a dinger tonight.
Can I ask you a question off the bat?
Wait, Josh, are you still pouring your water?
Yeah, just
Gosh, you've been doing that for like 20 minutes. That's why we're late.
It's the Mary Poppins bag of bottles over there. What is going on? It's just a noise.
Wait, okay.
Noise.
When you have the cool video going and the countdown and all that stuff, can you see me on camera on like your whole?
Greg, I can see you on camera. Yes.
So you see me dancing.
Yes. I love it though. It like gets me going. You know, it like right, Josh? Doesn't
I
it
get
get you
that
going?
feedback a lot.
When Greg dances?
That's what gets me going. Greg dancing. Jason,
no.
It's nice to see you guys again. Welcome back, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, the whole thing. Like, you know, welcome to 2024. I feel like it's going to be a really good year. I think it's going to be a good year for Below Deck. I think it's going to be a good year for everyone watching, a good year for us. So I'm excited.
I learned a new trick, Jason, right before our Christmas break. And I think a lot of our viewers really liked it. Now watch. You do two things. One, you say, Alexa, volume 9. And then you say, Alexa, play Return of the Mac.
Oh, Lord.
Jason, when you were rewatching the episode,
are you muted?
Your Alexa's just going crazy.
Apparently, we had a lot of people listening to that song.
Well, I love it. You guys are ridiculous. And thank you guys for covering when we were in London. So Adam and I went to London for like a mom's trip. We took our moms to London for Christmas and stuff. And you guys covered us and gave us an extra episode of Anchor Watch. So we are so appreciative. You guys, like, people loved it. Even so, we saw Chef Jack, at our meetup in London. Let me try to bring up that photo. Here he is.
Ooh.
We saw Chef Jack. He came to our meetup. God. We had the best time. He loves Anchor Watch, and he watched you guys the night before because our meetup was the night after, or
He's got to stay up to
depending
speed.
on the timing. Yeah, and he loved it. So, I heard also cool. While we were off, you guys met up at some point, right? Did you?
That was one of our goals.
It was one of your resolutions.
One of my goals was
to I just
hang out with Josh more.
I think you have the picture, Jason. Because I only own one shirt, apparently, I'm wearing the same shirt right now. So.
Oh God, this is horrible, Josh. You know what this means in the gay world?
What
does it mean?
I don't know. It just sounded funny.
That's like, I know what this means because I'm gay.
The only two people who have ever worn the same thing twice are Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. So, Josh, I need you not to do that again. But
oh my God,
I'm just kidding. Guys, welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly Below Deck chat where we cover Below Deck and take over Up and Adam's channel and ruin it every night at 11. No, I'm just kidding.
For a good solid hour.
For a solid hour. But we are talking about one of the best shows on Bravo. Currently, I do want to say there is a lot of things happening in the Bravo world right now. And if you guys want to catch up on that, tomorrow morning, 11:45 a.m., Adam and I will be live to cover the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, the first part. And then next week, Adam will be at the Vanderpump Rules premiere in LA. So we will not be here for, we will be here for Anchor Watch, but not for Salt Lake City next week. But guys, I do want to jump into this episode because I found it kind of, I don't know, you feel like it's hitting the end of the season, right? I mean, it's kind of like we're at the end.
Like there's a buildup.
There is a buildup and something is going to happen. So
there's a virus going around. Like there's a plague. There's, by the way, sorry, everyone. I'm not on my normal computer. My stupid iMac, the keyboard battery, it's a whole thing. So I'm coming to you guys live from a tin can. But this episode, the cast is, half. It feels like half the cast is missing.
Zombies.
They're getting tired. They're getting sick. The ones who are available are overworked now.
I mean, what do you think about this though? Like, I jumped in this episode and I'm thinking, okay, I'm excited to watch this again. I watched all the episodes, even when we were off. Murray, again, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, Murray says, so great to see these guys back together again. Please smash that like button as a thank you for Jason for staying up. Well, I appreciate it for staying up so late for us. I actually love being here when I'm here with Josh and Greg. We have a lot of fun. Murray, thank you so much.
Gently
jumping
smash. Gently.
gently smash. Don't
You could
hit. Don't,
just
That's what's wrong with Josh's
It-
computer. He was smashing like buttons,
yeah, he was like just going on old episodes of Anchor Watch, just pushing
just smashing it.
really hard. Yeah. Did you
uh,
time travel in that shirt?
did I what?
Did you time travel in that shirt? Did you
Wait, what are you saying? Is this
from when you had the picture and now you're here?
I-
Did you guys take that picture today?
we took that picture today.
That's
No.
what I thought. I knew you guys
No.
were lying.
no? We took it. We took it on a Tuesday because this is my Tuesday shirt. So
And I was, you can tell I was like walking by or something in transit. It looked like I was kind of like,
Did Josh ask you for a photo?
he's like, hey. Yeah, no.
Hey, you're the guy on Anchor Watch, right?
We went to a bar.
Sorry.
Got some entertainment.
apparently we now have our viewers concerned that I'm a hobo. So
Josh has never left the room he's in for the
you guys
past
know what? Yeah,
3
yeah.
years
I'm
on
like-
Anchor Watch.
I'm Howard
So-
Hughes over here. I've got so many bottles of PP. You can't see.
Oh my god.
I've never left. My
All right,
family slides tortillas and fruit roll-ups under the door. So
That's so nice of
Why
them.
fruit roll-ups?
Because
Listen,
they're
like,
flat tortillas.
no, I get it. I get it. Listen, I don't know. I'm jumping into this episode, and
lasagna
I'm
Pepperoni.
noodles,
Pepperoni.
lasagna noodles. Yeah, now we're just gonna name. Hey guys, for the next
Slices
15
of
minutes,
name
Hawaii.
all
we're
the
gonna
flat
name
foods
flat
you can
foods.
possibly think of: sourdough bread,
Cheez-Its.
wheat bread, Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
That would be great, right? You can
Oh,
fit a
no,
lot of them
wait.
under the door.
Chicken and a biscuit crackers. Oh man, gotta love them chicken and my son loves
Wheat
them chicken and a
thins.
biscuit.
Okay. Okay.
Uncooked
Here we go.
noodles.
Someone's starting a GoFundMe for you and your issues over there, but
Do I get to pick it out? I get to pick it out.
you
Oh.
can.
Pop Tarts.
You can.
That's a good one.
Pop Tarts. That's a great one, Murray. That is a great
Yeah,
one.
anyone, if you can think of a flat food, just go ahead and write it in the chat.
I just imagine them getting like scraped on the way in. You know,
Oh,
there's just
yeah,
like all this
the
like
frosting.
residue on the outside.
Yeah, the door on the outside, it just has all this
covered in-
frosting caked up.
Like
That's gross.
a piece of toast. All the good stuff just taken right off. Shirt fun.
Gross.
Oh, this is
Oh,
real.
here we go. Mary,
is
thank you
real.
so much. That I will absolutely we're Venmoing Josh the $9.99 for a new shirt that he can go.
That's
get.
a
As my
nice shirt.
thank you to everyone, Alexa, make a fart noise.
No, this is not the circus.
Try asking me to fart 17 times in a row.
Oh, don't do
Oh,
that.
17 times in a row.
Yeah.
What's your history with that, Alexa?
Did she say you've asked me that 17 times? in a
Alexa,
row?
Yeah,
stop.
fart joke?
Alexa,
yeah,
keep it
she's
between
like,
us.
Josh, stop it.
Okay, can I say, speaking of redundancy, can we let's get into this really quick.
Yes.
Do we have to talk about this episode?
Yeah, we do have to, because I'm tired of what I don't like. There are 3 things I hate. I hate like capital
Spiders.
H.
Spiders.
Love spiders. I'm good with them. Yeah, they can be sexy.
Single ply toilet paper.
That's
Oh.
gross. Yes, I hate that too. So there's 4 things I hate. Can we name another?
Always a
No.
blowout.
No. I hate whining, moaning, bitching, and complaining. And I feel like that is what we have gotten from like 2 cast members this entire season who have had ups and downs more so. And I don't mean to go in on him. I like him. He's a friend, but what is happening with Kyle this season? I feel like this is just not great TV. Every time we turn our heads, Kyle is on the floor. Last season,
On the
Kyle's
bed.
twisted his ankle, and then he has a migraine, and then he can't, and it's always at very convenient times, which kind of makes you think, but the complaining just got me like, I was kind of like, this is kind of annoying, especially when you're sitting there with the guests, sitting down.
Well-
I'm just going to sit down. I've had such a tough season complaining. I'm like, what is going on?
And
But I
those
just wanna
guests
know
are
your
like
guys'
his
thoughts.
favorites. Like I
Right.
thought you'd that's the kind of guest you'd want to push through for, but
Yeah.
Right.
he didn't.
Greg is pegged.
Greg has
Greg
it
is
pegged.
pegged.
It was like action thing, stuff going on, Kyle in bed. Action thing, stuff going on, Kyle in bed.
Kyle in bed. Flashback to Kyle on the floor.
Thank you,
Flashback
Mac
to
team.
Kyle everything. Mac team, thank you so much for the super chat. So happy
from
to have you
down
back
under.
together. We are so happy to be here. I am excited. I'm actually really happy to start this year like this. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
so
good to see you.
I was saying I didn't want to talk, but I guess I do want to talk about the episode. Kyle, it's like, Kyle, you were supposed to be the fun. Like when Kyle first started with Below Deck, he was so fun. It was like, oh, this is going to be a great character. He's got a good attitude. I definitely feel like we're like at that. He's like a junior in high school. That's like when people are like the just biggest punks because they like are starting to be a senior, you know, and like, and like, I believe if we see Kyle on a future Below Deck, we're gonna see a much humbler Kyle. You know, I think Kyle too big for his britches, and then I think he's heard it now from the public and kind of had a mirror put to his face, and there's a little bit of a wake up call. But Kyle, you got to tone it down because this. And
it didn't feel like that at BravoCon. It didn't feel like he knew that. I think social media now he knows that.
Well, and now too, I wonder his migraine. I was thinking if Captain Sandy suddenly came in and said, "Hey everyone, we're getting $1 million checks. Each one of us is getting $1 million check." I think his migraine would have been gone like that. It just it didn't feel.
That's what it felt like. It was like, oh, last day of charter. I'm up and I'm good,
I'm good, and I'm here to collect my tip. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get mine, which was I don't know. It was hard for me to watch because I feel like we've seen moments before in previous seasons of people who maybe haven't been able to give them their all, or who are new, who are like, you know what, give me a little less and spread it amongst the crew. If you're gonna lay your ass in bed the whole time, you shouldn't be there collecting the tip, pouring champagne, and twerking that night. You know what I mean? Like you didn't earn it. It's easy. Crazy. It's crazy to me.
If you rewrite your comment but say poop stirrer, I'll put it up. I don't want to put that word up because I don't want to ruin Adam's algorithm. But
I'm pretty
I like
sure
your comment. I like your comment. So rewrite it with poop stirrer and we'll put it up.
It's just it's strange because, you know, I like you said, Josh, last season we watched Kyle kind of come in as this great character, really good TV, and then kind of just like fade out a little bit. And this season we've just seen kind of like, here I am, and then it kind of got aggressive Kyle, especially the way he talked to other crew members, especially women, and then it got kind of, you know, I'm down and out, as the stress, the drama. It's like, you know what this job takes. You're not new at this.
Yeah.
You know, he has a CV. He's very, very equipped to do this job.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where it got me a little bit. And I just kind of felt like, even though production does things to make a show, and we have a show where we don't see everything, right? I feel like you showed enough of that where production had to use that.
Yeah. I don't know. In your crystal ball, is he coming back?
I don't think so. You know, we've seen, I don't know if I have those photos up here anymore, but
him and Natalia.
We have the stills from, I'm sorry, here it is. This is from next season. So next season, season 9 of Below Deck Med, here is your crew. I don't see anybody recognizable at all. So this is them filming. This is next year. Aisha is the only recognizable face. She is our chief stew from Below Deck Down Under, and she has been on Med before. But I'm honestly not seeing anybody familiar, which might be a good change for Below Deck Med at this point.
Yes and no. I mean, I think we were saying that we were big fans of like kind of returning people. Like it does really help. And so here we go. We've suddenly jumped a lot of lines. We went from 26 to hey guys, thank you for hitting that like button. It's simple to do, but it helps so much with this whole YouTube thing. So thank you guys for always hitting that. Yeah, you guys are always so good about it. So thank you for hitting it. But we'll still put the reminder up. But yeah, I like when there's some returning people, and
sure.
And so I wish there was actually more than just Aisha coming back next year. I like her, so that's fine. I'm glad she's the one, but I would like to see some others. And yeah, it doesn't mean we're not going to see Kyle show up on another Below Deck too, because as we've seen,
that's a good point.
Or Toomey, you know, everyone is writing her off right now, and she really showed her leadership capabilities, especially this episode. I don't think it's the last we've seen of Toomey. I wouldn't be surprised if she might have switched with Aisha in Below Deck Down Under next season. I'm not sure. I know they were just filming, so I have no idea. It was nice to have Natalia back, Kyle back, but then I'm thinking, what did these two bring this season that made it even
a dramatic exit
better? Or you know what I mean?
Maybe that's production's
TV.
like, production's
Who?
like, we're not. doing this
Natalia gave
again.
us good TV.
Well,
Natalia
it
gave
is
us-
fun seeing Kyle throw himself on the floor and stuff, you know.
I mean,
So-
yes, it just can get, after a while, it's like redundant. It's like, we've seen this
Yeah,
from you. We know your tricks. You've done all your tricks. I did like that we've brought Luca from a different franchise over to here. I love Toomey coming from a different franchise to here. I think this is, great moves on the Below Deck part, because I have to agree, Josh, we like familiarity. That's something we really like about Below Deck Sailing, is we've had this like crew for how many seasons that we're so comfortable talking about, we're so comfortable watching, and that same crew who's together all the time with like different people that come in and out provide a really good show, so that's true. I do like the familiarity for sure. I do want to jump in and ask what you guys think. If someone was more annoying with their complaining, would it be Kyle or would it be Max at this point?
I was gonna say Max for this episode. Like, I feel like Laura gives him a lot of shit for not, or excuse me, poop. If we're not saying that for not Josh, sorry.
No, it
for
just
not,
I didn't want to.
We're an
I
explicit
can't write it
podcast. You
out.
can say it.
I can't. Okay. I feel like Laura's always talking about how he doesn't work at all and he's like lazy, whatever. But I think he at least contributes, gets the job done, and does something. But in this episode, especially, it felt like he was just like, he's a diva in terms of sleep, and so am I, so I can relate. But
Absolutely. I mean, so can I. 100%.
Like, he couldn't function the way that
I
he
can
was.
function off of like 2 hours of sleep.
Can you really?
Yeah, I'm pretty good about.
Wow.
I think I think Josh, with our background, and Greg, you too, like we've always had this saying. I think it's like embedded in us that the show must go on, right?
That's true.
So
it's true.
We're entertainers. We've performed live shows, thousands of live shows, and when you have a headache or when you feel tired, it's like that's not an excuse, because the show must go on. It will go on without you, and you're left behind. Then you're left behind, and you're done.
Well, how many times did you have a headache going into a show? You go on, you don't remember the
Hundreds.
show, you perform amazing, and then you like shut it down, and then it like kind of settles and returns and whatever. But during the show, that adrenaline, everything kicks in. And I think that Kyle in this situation would have done fantastic with that group of guys. And I think Max, I don't know, he's just out of place and has the odds against him. So I don't know. Those are the two guys that we're focused on, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, listen, for Max though, he's young, he's physically able. He's I just think he's like a guy who can get shit done if he really needs to. But the complaining about the food and the time to digest, and it's like,
Andy didn't like that.
A whiner, just a whiner.
A whiner. And if you knew that, if you knew you needed something else besides what the chef was making, and I'm sure Chef Jack makes crew food good, just as good as he does guest food, right?
Totally.
But if there was an issue, you always have options. It's like you always see cereal and like fruit and vegetables around. It's not like you don't have anything to eat. So to listen to that was just like crazy. It's like It's like those people who come into restaurants.
Yeah, he could have had a tortilla.
Yeah.
He could have a Pop-Tart. No, when he's saying that he couldn't have fruit, like, does he want the chef to like prepare fruit for him? Like, that seems like a self-serve item. Like,
it just felt a little bit of entitlement, and it's strange to watch. It's strange to watch, and I don't know. It's I'm not going to comment on this, but no. It's like when people come to a restaurant, right? And they have like a card of all the things they can't eat, but they know what they're at a restaurant with all the things they can't eat. And it's like kind of annoying. So that's how I feel about him in this moment. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is the big picture here? What, I don't know. And then it's like the sleep. I mean, you're a man down. Haley has been sick. She's been off the boat for a while now. And it's like, you need to step up. And even Luca is like, I haven't had a break. I've been up since 6 a.m. I haven't had a break. Do
you think that contributed to Laura getting sick as well, being overworked and things going around?
I mean, probably. I would assume, Laura is a person who like pulls her pants up and gets to work when the work needs to be done,
She's a badass that just does it.
Can I ask you guys, how much does it take for you guys to be out of commission? No.
Apparently not enough yet.
We know you do the show without pants, Josh. It's okay. but
It's free and it's breezy in the winter.
Saves his money for shirts.
Yes.
I'm sure it's a little chilly too.
Yeah. I
But
have 7 of these.
how much does it take for you guys to be out of commission? For you both are fathers, you both have real big boy jobs that you can't just like, oh, the food wasn't good this morning and I'm tired, I'm not going to show up. How much does it take for you to be like, I need a day off?
I think my answer to that about myself and my wife's answer would be different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think I chug along, but at the same time, like I'm kind of a baby when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know. At the same time, like if you have a job that's everyone's dependent on you and like you're letting someone down if you don't do it, like that's when you kind of just have to drag yourself out of bed and check the box, and then you can go back to bed and take care of yourself. But like if the kids are hungry, I need to feed the kids. I can't just let them scavenge because that's a whole other mess I'll have to clean up later.
Yeah. So you can probably.
I mean, it's kind of like when
tortillas,
there wasn't service and then they go and they serve
chicken and biscuit crackers.
when they serve when they start serving themselves drinks from the bar because there isn't like a stew in there, like that's an issue because they're going to get more drunk. There's going to be spills. There's going to be problems. Like, I don't know if it's legal, and I don't know. I think you just have to kind of suck it up and do your job and then take care of yourself as much as you can.
I agree. Too, like being mentally prepared for, I want to put myself in their situation, but Josh, we've been in that situation of, okay, we know that, hey, we're performing in this city for the next 6 weeks with the same people, same schedule, new audiences. And we've always compared what we've done to kind of the yachting industry because it's very similar. Like you're putting a show on with your skills and your different disciplines. And
oddly, we were wet the whole time.
Yeah.
I think
talked a lot about it. No, but you're probably taking care of yourself more too. Like you're trying to do things.
No, not really. It's
just a bunch of like
you're
crackers
mentally
and
like,
Pop-Tarts?
I'm going on this charter season for 6 to 8 weeks. We're filming for this amount of time.
Yeah,
I'm not like understanding where the mental preparation went wrong for some of the cast this season. It's just kind of insane. I mean, I can tell you people who are on it. These people, Laura is on it. Haley is on it. Jessica is now, not the beginning of the season with her hangover problem, but we have a couple of people who are prepared to work on a boat for 6 weeks and
make sure
it's make shit happen.
Well, the chef's always a great example. You never see the chefs getting sick on this show and needing
that's
the
a good
break
point
because they can't afford. It's like, I don't know. It's like anything in life. I think if you have to do stuff, you magically don't get sick. The moment you stop, then all of a sudden you get sick. Like, I think a lot of our bodies, like mind over matter kind of stuff, So.
And
absolutely.
Who said it? I just saw it a minute ago. Mary brought it up. A great redemption story for Lily. I think Lily had the opportunity to step up and step in here, and she did. And I think that even though her guac might have taken 30 minutes.
Hey, listen, and they loved it. They loved it. The guests loved it. These were the hardest guests to please, and they've been on before. We've seen them before. They came back with almost a vengeance. Like nothing was good enough for these guests. I do have to agree. Lily stepped it up, and Chef Jack kind of told me something at our meetup. He told me a lot of things, but I can only share one thing: is keep an eye on Lily for the rest of the season because I think she like skyrockets into this amazing stew. So maybe she's here to prove us wrong. I love watching her. It seemed to happen fast, and I think she's going to be.
We've talked about
by
that.
the way, what did Chef Jack say? Real quick, we kind of skipped over that you met Chef Jack. Like, we need to go back for a second.
Yeah. What kind of stuff did he talk about?
Did he? I mean, how many times did he mention?
How big are his hands?
He loved. He loved Anchor Watch, just like a lot of the cast of Below Deck, and we appreciate them for even watching us at all. Right? That anyone's watching us at all, especially at this time of night, but. We had a really fun meetup in London where we had a subscriber meetup and it was just probably one of the best experiences of the year and really gave us a lot of great energy. Everyone who showed up was just such a big part of our community and stuff. But Chef Jack loves Anchor Watch. A lot of people like Anchor Watch, and Toomey has written us and stuff like that, and we love that they watch. And I hope we never insult anyone, but we are just we're watching what we're watching on TV, so it's hard not to like say, "Wow, Kyle and Max kind of bombed."
Look, we're trying.
You know what I
like,
mean?
I think Jason, like one of the things we kind of talked about, and I think Adam's good about this too.
Yep.
Just in general, like Kyle, quit looking sassy. No, we we kind of call people out if they're acting bad, but I don't think we've ever really like. I mean, there's been a few people who are kind of gross people. We call them out, but we don't go after the person. We just go after their
action.
Actions. Yeah,
they're not a bad person. They made bad decisions.
Yeah, and so
I think that's exactly
we
especially knowing Kyle. I think Kyle is in a point where he's making decisions that are based off of maybe the success he had last season, and I think it's a pendulum thing. It's got to be. I'm sure he's just swung too far in the other direction, and hopefully he'll start to center up.
Listen, I am not saying I never want to see Kyle back. I would actually love to see Kyle back. We do have those,
I want to see the Kyle that we were excited about. That's what I want to see.
Right. Yes. Right. And I think he needs that chance. And listen, you have many times where you have a cast member of a Housewives show or no, not Vanderpump Rules. That's not a good comparison. Or Below Deck, where they're gone for a season and then here they go. They're back. So I think that Kyle will be one of those. I don't ever see him being a chief stew. But maybe that will surprise us too. Who knows? Lots of great cast members in the past, though, who have been in Kyle's position. So I'm curious if they would bring him back.
You brought up the guests and how particular they were, and then at the end we find out that they leave a huge tip.
And we love a big tip around here.
You're telling me when they handed the
really, I'm telling you, we love a big tip. No, I'm just kidding.
When they handed Sandy the envelope, Captain Sandy the envelope, didn't it look thinner than when she like brought it out? Like, do they like convert? So then
I don't know.
And then they have to go like exchange it or something.
I would give the biggest envelope, but it would be like $1,000. All ones.
Just coins.
Use this on your night out.
Here's a satchel. Here's a second satchel.
Yeah, and just like.
I mean, listen. The criticism that they gave during the whole charter, I mean, everything was like kind of an issue. And then at the end, even the biggest complaint they had was the chef, right? And even it wasn't that bad, but they were very, particular, very, I don't know. If I was going to spend this money, I would want to be a lot happier than these guests were. But at the end, they leave it financially, and monetary value. They're like, we enjoyed our trip. You guys were great. Here's your money, and it's $32,000 is a lot for a tip. When we've seen anything from like 17 to 28, on previous Below Decks, and now a $32,000 tip. I don't think there's been a bigger one, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken,
and you keep track of the big tips.
Absolutely.
Did you guys?
That's why I haven't been single in years.
Small.
What'd you say about small, Craig? Sorry.
Going from big to small.
Okay.
Small detail that I also noticed
Greg?
that I was curious about.
From big to small, Greg.
Now, I'm just catching up on Game of Thrones. So the castle was exciting to me when they go visit this castle.
Hey, folks, we're in the Wayback Machine. We're also going to spoil the facts of life coming up, too.
Do you know what ruined the castle for me, though? Is that it was all like foldable like chairs. And I get it. They have to be mobile, but don't you think that if you were to rent a castle, they could at least like get you a throne or some sort of wooden table or something? I was let down.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a cool view. It might be a fun experience, but I'd be like, are we playing?
Unfortunately,
like,
it's up to them to bring the stuff though. So it's just a location. We've seen this castle used before. Like, and they always have to like hike up their own stuff.
Okay.
It's interesting though, like sometimes we've seen nicer things on beaches, like we've had nicer setups on beaches and no one likes it. And then we have these cheap chairs and these cheap tables and cheap table settings, and it's a great view. So everyone's looking there and they're not looking at what's in front of them, which is, it's a great trick. I mean, listen, it really is. And then when you had Laura, who is a deckhand, who's sitting there like being bartender 101 over
Mhm.
here giving a show, which just adds to her skill set, by the
That
way.
was fun.
Like
Yeah.
she has a surprise every episode. I thought was kind of phenomenal. I think that kind of takes that attention away. If you have a good feeling, like for me, I'm very particular. I would really like the chairs and the table and the stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't know. These guests were really hard to please. And I think it's the energy that was brought by the crew in that situation and the view, and that kind of made them overlook some of the
Okay.
minor
So question on
details.
that.
Okay.
Had Kyle been involved in those situations where he could have brought it to the next level? I mean, let's be honest. Kyle do you think the tip would have been bigger, or do you think the experience would have been better?
Easily another 50 cents at least.
Okay. That makes sense.
It just maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
No, I think first of all, anyone who's done the show before and then comes back, like they know what's going on. They know the game and stuff. I think those guys came and were like, we're giving this huge tip no matter what. Like we're gonna look good on television.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I thought it was
that
definitely.
gonna happen. I don't think Kyle could have like pushed it to 40,000 or anything like that. But
I mean, maybe with a few tricks.
hey, but this is
Hey, girl.
This is the episode where Kyle should have shined. It was,
I know.
Guess he knows. He pulls out all of his fun gay stuff. Like this is the episode that like we should have had Kyle there being full fun Kyle. And it was like womp womp. He had a nice little conversation one time and then went and hid in his room with this 4-day long migraine or whatever. And it's like,
but it's the thing, going back to that conversation, it kind of, I don't know why it bothered me. It kind of just looked very, I don't know, unprofessional in a sense, because it's like, okay, how's the season going? Well, I've had this and this, and it's like, no.
Yeah, you don't break
they
that
are
fourth
here
wall.
for
Yep.
2-3 days. Like it's
They
been
don't wanna hear it.
wonderful. I love the motor yacht mystique. Captain Sandy's
Yes.
amazing. Oh, did Chef Jack mess up once? That must have been his only time. Like play into it.
Always be selling.
Yeah, sell it. You got to sell it. I mean, this is what happens, But I don't know. Oh God, Josh, did you bring that comment? All right, Josh, thank you. All right, so jumping into another big moment of the show, when Captain Sandy, because we know that Luca is a playboy, like beyond belief. I don't blame him for it because he hasn't committed to anyone on the boat. I think he's playing a lot of the girls in a sense, Natalia, Jessica, and now we have, I don't know if you guys remembered, possibly what?
Possibly Max. Possibly Max. You don't know.
Who knows? You never know.
Hard to get.
It depends how long the season is. No, but then we have Katie Flood, who used to be a chief stew on Below Deck Med and worked with Captain Sandy. Who, interesting that she was just on Winter House and now making an appearance back on Below Deck Med. But do you think this move by Captain Sandy, by coming downstairs and, are you talking to the girl on the other boat? Is this a production move? Did producer say go downstairs and say it? Because it just felt not like Captain Sandy.
She
it's
doesn't get into stuff
I got
like
a joke.
that. Yeah. And she's like, did I do it right? Like, that's not her style. That felt
it's not.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
It's not.
And I mean, they wanted it to be uncomfortable, so it was.
I mean, I think this is definitely the whole, even Katie Flood being involved in Below Deck Med right now, I feel like is a very big production kind of cue in a sense. But Josh, I mean, like, did you believe Sandy? Because when Sandy's mad, you believe her because she's actually pissed, right? And then when she cracks a joke, it's like, oh, you're not that funny, but we love you so much. You're being real. This felt like, hey, Luca, what I mean? Like, let me read my script.
Talking to Katie from season 3 of Below Deck Mediterranean.
In her defense, I think she's funny. I think she has a very like dry sense of humor.
Captain Sandy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I love Captain Sandy. No, it just it felt, it did feel, because she kept repeating it too. It was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? And it was like,
she also, I don't know, she also has like her
different.
buddies. You know what I mean? I think Luca's one of her buddies, so she'd like joke hard with Luca, right?
Absolutely.
Not
No,
with that face.
absolutely. She
that is you are in trouble face.
people have been saying that Captain Sandy has a lot of favoritism towards two people this season, and that is Max and Luca, which I haven't seen her be very. I think she needs Max. I think everyone needs Max this season, and it's allowed him to kind of like be lethargic and step it down a bit. But she definitely likes Luca.
Is Natalia coming back? Does someone think that? Did they tell us that? I didn't see that in the preview.
So she
in
has
the more to come.
Yeah, in the
on the
more to
next-
come, it's
Yes.
been there. So she's gonna come have a drink and stir shit up, rile shit up, I'm sure. But would she come back? I'm not sure. But we do have this, we have this thing next episode where I don't know, or we don't know if Captain Sandy can take the yacht off of the dock because they only have so many people on board. So I believe Natalia, if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, but I believe she has some deck experience. I don't know if that would be true, if she would come back on that boat for any means. I think she's done for the season, but
Kendra in the house.
Hey, Kendra. Good to have you back. Great to see you. Were you on earlier when we were talking about Pop-Tarts and toast? She
oh God, not the
It's
music.
that time of the episode where we break it down for Kendra. I think she's coming back for the end of the season. I don't know what's going to happen after that. It feels like she was kind of maybe burning bridges with Bravo in general. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Make that sense?
No, 100%.
Well, but remember, we've
Absolutely.
also learned that they tweet along with the show, even though they already know the outcome. Like, we've seen them, like, they stay in character on Twitter throughout the season. And then it's like, we know this has been in a can for like a year and a half or something, but it's like they'll have a fight online with the person and then make up online with the person as they make up in the episodes.
Right.
So, yeah, it makes me wonder if she was kind of playing to that, if that's part of like
that's part of the script.
It's part of the Bravo deal when you sign them. I'm sure there's part of your contract leverages your, says they can
Your
help
social media.
your
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else knows that or a lot of people know that I like Survivor, and I feel like they kind of watch along, but they don't comment or chime in as much because I guess it ruins an outcome. But
Absolutely.
do you think it would ruin an outcome on this for them to like? I don't know.
I don't know.
Torn.
I don't
get
know.
the
So
game.
Amanda in the chat says, but she was at BravoCon, correct? And yes, there were a lot of cast members at BravoCon that we won't see again. Because the season is
Finite.
on. It's like spot on right when we're at BravoCon, so it's the perfect time to have those people there. So yes, that's part of their contract, part of the things they have to do. They're also paid to be at BravoCon, by the way. So I just don't know. I don't know if we'll see her. I don't know if we'll see Kyle. I don't know if we'll see a few people. I actually hope.
Where is Ruan? We have not seen him.
Where's Ruan? I don't even have his photo anymore. I kept it on here as a joke, and now I can't even. I think I get.
I
rid of
literally
it.
was looking
Good.
for it. I was gonna put it up.
Were you?
Yeah.
Was it actually his photo, or was it one that he provided? Was it like part of the paperwork that he faked, or which photo was it?
I have no idea.
It was a 65-year-old Greek man.
Okay.
And said Ruan.
That makes sense.
I wanted to ask you guys something too that happened this episode, because we've hit a lot of the points that have happened. But when Chef Jack says that you can actually taste the food with your eyes before you eat it, does that sound weird or is it true? Because I found that so true.
I want to try that so bad.
Wait, what? What do you want to try so bad?
The
blindfold. Yeah. But when he said, like, when you see the food, right?
Hey, Greg, next time I see you, I'll cover your eyes and push a Pop-Tart in your mouth.
Okay.
And you tell us.
Don't tell me it's
strawberry.
Don't tell me it's a Pop-Tart though.
Yeah.
But I have to agree. I thought that was like a really fun kind of thing that he said.
You do
Um,
though. I think
You do.
there's truth to that in terms of like even preparing food. Like that there's a process to that where
Well, I mean,
as you're
that's
making it, you're creating it, you're like building all these things together and you start to turn ingredients into something bigger and better. And there's an art form to it. And then at that level with a chef like him, he's presenting that. So he's presenting that art and doing it in a way that looks appealing. Like I feel like if I presented you guys food, you'd be like, yeah, that's a plate of food. The way he does it, it's like, that's a piece of art. I'm excited to eat that. I know that there's more to it just based on looking at it artisanally.
Yes, and I agree with Amanda's comment in the live chat. She said that's why plating is important. But you when you get meals sometimes, right, at restaurants, and you're like, you look at it, like you instantly know if you're gonna like that dish or not. You know, like
Totally.
kind of, it's interesting. Very
Like when it has
interesting.
the little schmear, like on the beet schmear or whatever it is.
Yeah, the little.
You know what I mean? When they take the little,
yeah, where they take the spoon
Yep.
and they like you do a a
Yep.
little. It makes every dish better.
fun fact. It's just a dirty plate. So,
It's just a nasty. It hasn't even been washed. It's gross. Okay, so the crew dynamics have changed this episode. I think everyone's gotten over everything. Like already we're over Kyle being kind of like
except for the flu.
tired
Yeah,
and
you're
yes,
not over the
yes.
flu.
But we have the night out. Everyone is good. Max decides to stay in and get his beauty rest, and Lara is sick. We already have Haley out sick.
Mhm.
It's like everyone's getting along, but then we have this like kind of sickness taking over. But
Mhm.
how long is this team morale gonna last? Do we give it?
Well, you already saw Max kind of like hitting his breaking point, and I could see him just being a wild
He
pistol.
did
in this
apologize
whole
though.
mix-up.
He did come back around. He did apologize.
Totally.
That's the thing about
But-
Max, though. This is why I can never like nail him down, kind of like Kyle, like where it's like, okay, Kyle is always, it's a dramatic kind of disaster. With Max, it's like it's a problem, but he always bounces back, and you kind of like him and you forgive him. He has that like,
It's fun and
forgiveness in a
playful.
sense. Yeah.
And
But-
we've all been hangry. He even said, he's like, I think there's a reason why. It was like, I think there's a reason why hungry and angry are so similar. Or did I just imagine that?
No, he said that. He's like,
Okay.
the word sounds similar, and yeah, no,
Especially when he says it. Yeah.
especially when he says it. Okay, my last question for tonight, guys, to wrap it up is, I think we already know the answer, but the outcome of Jessica and Luca, because this is a woman scorn right now, and we saw her almost like go to the edge, and then she slowly came back and realized, you know what?
This is fun.
It's just fun. It's just a hookup. It's just a boat manse. You know, we've only been on this boat for like 4 weeks. You know, like it's,
yeah.
she kind of had the realization. But for this episode, like I'm gonna ask you guys, because you guys are straight men.
Okay. Well,
Jessica looks really good. Like I thought she was really cute. I've never really like been like, wow, Jessica's gorgeous, you know, but she looked great this episode for some reason.
like you're thinking she went to the next level, did it up just a little bit more.
A little
to
bit,
kind of,
right? Like I felt
yeah,
like,
I could
you
see
know,
that.
I have
I could see
Luca
that.
and yeah, but she looked good, but I don't see them, you know, together. I mean, obviously we know that because they're not, but yeah.
But you know, they set up their little bunk bed fort and had a good time.
Wrestled.
They're so like meticulous about the way they tuck those
Hey,
bed
listen,
sheets in.
Luca's been on the show before. He knows where the
He knows
cameras
what's up.
are. Yeah, he knows what's up. Most of them do. So I just thought it's funny because I don't know if they're really supposed to do that kind of thing, but we've already watched them kind of like go at it a little too aggressively for like just cable television. You know,
Wait,
we've already
was
watched
it-
them go at it before.
Was it Luca that went into the below deck?
No,
Who was that?
that was
Not to put you guys on the spot.
No.
It wasn't
Oh
this
my god, that was last. It was last season.
I know.
It was
last season, but
It was what's his name? Culver. Wasn't it Culver?
okay.
Yeah, it was
That's what
Culver.
Yeah.
Very strange. Very strange,
But
guys.
it's probably because he knows there's no cameras down there. And the camera guy was probably like, I'm not going down there. Like,
No.
I'll just kind of dip it in the little hole there and call it good.
I
more
think he
bouncing
tried. I
coverage.
think he tried, and I don't think it worked. But
Yeah.
okay, last question for tonight. What are we looking forward to the rest of the season? We only have, I think, 3 more episodes left? which is
Doesn't
crazy.
doesn't this season feel like it's 80 episodes long? Maybe it's because of
Yes.
the
Why?
there, and maybe it's because of the holiday break and stuff. But man, I'm like, no offense, like Captain Sandy, I love you, but Jesus, season is feeling long. Like
We said that, we said that about one other season, and maybe
we
someone in the
started
chat
this
knows.
last year, you know.
We did. This has gone on for an entire year. We're already 2024. I just think I don't know. I it could have been the holiday season, but it could be kind of the like I don't know what feels a little long about it. And I think this is why next season, because I'm looking at this crew next season, right? And I'm just going straight based off like looks and stuff. I think this is going to be a lot of trouble, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And a little opposite, because I feel like we're getting a little sleepy with this cast. There's a lot of whining. Like I said, there's 3 things I don't like: whining, moaning, bitching, and complaining. That's 4. But
you really don't like 3 of those things.
it's done. Like I feel like, okay, what is going to actually happen? And I think Natalia kind of making an appearance again is going to kind of stir things up a little bit. I think we're going to see Lily bloom into this full-fledged person, but I'm really curious to see next episode if they're going to get off the dock at all, with being shorthanded.
Yeah, then it's just a floating hotel, right?
Which sucks, because if the weather is good and you're paying for that, and you can't have that other crew member in there, and
they have to like tender them out or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Josh, any preview for anything you're excited to see?
A new franchise startup. No, yeah, I guess I'm with you. It's like the overacting and stuff like that, and the drama. It's like fun for 2 seconds, but then it's like you get to the end of the episode and you're like, oh, that's all we've watched this episode is just bitching and whining amongst the cast or amongst certain people, and it does get just tiring to watch. It's like I like when they're accomplishing things and some of the whining and stuff, but then they, it doesn't stay long or whatever. So
you don't usually have this many people whining. That's how I feel. It's just kind of, there's like a lot of like whining. You've had Toomey from the beginning with Natalia with Toomey, and Jessica with Lily, and then Jessica with everyone else, and then Kyle, and then and then Max, and it's just like my head is like, this is just a lot. But yeah, 100%, Josh.
So
100%.
We've seen the Natalia Toomey dynamic in terms of them butting heads. We've seen Natalia Kyle. I'm excited for Natalia to come back. I'm curious what it's going to be like with the Natalia Jessica dynamic, because I don't think we've seen a lot of crossfire there. And Jessica is in the driver's seat right now, but Luca has Natalia in the back seat sending texts here and there about missing your face.
And Katie. So I wonder, are we going to see Katie?
Oh, do you think so?
Or are we not going to see her?
Is Luca just bringing 3 girls on board and he's going to put up his bed tent and that's it?
He's creative. Let's give him that. He's creative.
I'm just going to go sit and wait in there, and whoever wants to come inside.
Yeah. Luca's like, check this out.
You ever seen a bed fort?
There's room for 4. No, I'm excited to see Jessica and Natalia and how that plays out.
That interaction will be great. I think it's just going to kind of kick it off for the season. I really don't know how the season is going to end. I really don't know if we're going to wind up with kind of just like a kind of like dead zone end, or if we're going to end off with like a banger. And I hope we
fire.
Do. Yes. We need a fire. Below Deck Med is there, but
a bunk bed banger.
Bunk bed banger. All right, guys. So if you're watching us on the replay,
like series of videos you can get late night. Hey, order now and get bunk bed bangers.
It could be a new business for Luca. It could be a new business.
But guys, sheets.
We want to hear what you guys have to say and that are thinking about the season and what you're liking and not liking, especially what you're looking forward to. So comment below. We love when people come and comment because we are always engaging in the comments afterwards. But guys, to kick us off can we rate this episode and say goodnight? What do you give this episode, Josh? Take your time.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I'm going to give this episode a solid 5.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking very
Greg.
similarly. And just to differ it up and stay away from the whole numbers, I'll go with the 5.25. I'll go below.
Ooh,
I'll go
okay.
below your deck on the 5.5.
This music is getting really great, by the way.
So it's 7.
Everyone's like, we're some 7s, 6.5, 4.93.
I think Brian and I see eye to eye on a lot of things. Brian's made some comments and I'm like, yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of like 6.5, 7s. I might have to go with the 6.5. I kind of enjoyed the episode, even with all the whining and bitching and
Rewatch it and then re-rate. I ain't rewatching.
All right, okay. All right.
I'm gonna be on my deathbed one day. I don't want to look back and go, "Yep, I did that episode again."
Twice it.
Yeah.
Not a 5 episode. Like, no, thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight, Josh, Greg. I'm assuming we're gonna see you guys next week. We got to finish off together. We started off together. That sounded horrible. We have to finish this season together since we started together.
Bunk bed banging.
So,
Let's do it.
Let's bunk bang until the end. And we'll see you guys all next week. Any final words?
I just love this community. Fun group of people.
I love
So
you
great to
guys.
see you. And I'm so
We
glad to have you back.
Perfect people to sit around with us all night. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and you know, for the replay crew, anybody wants to make a list of flat foods, we're still looking for more flat foods to slide under the door. So,
like sliced cucumbers.
ooh, sliced cucumber,
Oh,
bologna slices.
Kraft cheese.
They keep sticking to the floor, and you're like trying to push it, but they're just kind of.
And then a couple of the Pop-Tart crumbs just sprinkle on. It's like, what is
Oh
that?
God!
What
And
is
a
that?
hair gets attached because it's
Good.
I mean, it's inevitable.
It's just
Flank steak.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's the right stuff, like when you go to what is that place? Fogo de
Even the
Chao?
steak that
Okay.
Chef Jack
Oh, I
made.
had
You
an
can shove that
amazing
under the
steak.
door.
Hey, real quick, because this reminded me. Thank you, Becky. My neighbors for my birthday, they
Slid
made
shit
me
under your door.
They made me a steak dinner. How nice is that?
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
awesome.
They had me over last night, and I had this amazing steak. It was
How did it fit under the door?
Yeah, that's what I was
Mashed
saying.
potatoes.
shaved
Mashed
it.
potatoes. You just like kind of, and then it comes out in a sheet.
The green beans were nice because I laid on the floor and just put my mouth towards the hole, and then they just shoved them in.
Go on.
Slower.
Why does this exist? Why are we on here?
Hey, we're at 53 minutes, guys. It's gonna get weird.
Does Adam usually stop watching about minute 20? Like we're
probably
safe at this point. or is
minute 20 is probably as long as when the intro's done, it's just like he's done with us.
He's like, I give up on these guys.
Guys, we appreciate you guys for being here. We love our naughty yachties. We love hanging out with you guys. We're excited for 2024 and to be back. We have some interviews coming up. I think that Josh and I are going to do with some of the cast members that we're going to put exclusively on the podcast first and for our members. So we're really excited, and we will see you guys next week.
See you then.
Yeah.
Cheers, cheers.
Should I play the outro?
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.
Now.
Have a good week.